Hey everyone, today we're gonna head up right here up on some state land. There's a few roads and double track that I've never been on before and I want to go see where it goes. I'm on the ice cream truck today and it is Dinglespeed. That's right. Single speed times 2. If you haven't seen my video setting this up, I kind of explained what the point of Dinglespeed is. Some people might think it's pointless, but we're gonna go test it out. The idea behind it though is that when you have a ride where you want to ride a single speed, but potentially it's drastically different, like in this example, this is going to be a very steep uphill. We're going to head up this road right here. We're going to climb about 1,000 feet in 2 miles, a little over 2 miles, so very steep. So I'm in a pretty low gear for that. When I get up to the top, I'm going to swap it over to the higher gear so that I can actually pedal on the way down. It looks like there's maybe a little bit of rolly sections in there. I'm going to traverse north for a minute, and right there I would just be too low in the 28-22 gear that I'm using for climbing. The 32-18 I think is going to be a lot better setup for that more rolly section and the descent down. So let's get riding. So the bottom of this is this road right here. It's not super well maintained. After that, looks like it turns into some double track that kind of goes up the ridge. I think that's where it gets super steep. I haven't had a real single speed ride in a while, so see how it goes, how in shape I am. I did run this bike single speed for a little bit, fat, and did several snow rides like that. Pretty fun. This is steep. Let's see how far we can get up. Wow, it's loose too. Not far. Yeah, this is hike a bike status. Maybe in a normal bike if you're in that real big cog in the back, but wow. It's kind of hard to walk up even. Gonna go along that ridge and then cut along the side of that hill. This is a grind. It's kind of alternating between I pedal for as long as I can, at some point I lose traction or steam. You gotta do a little hike bike. Woo. I would not have been able to ride this in any higher of a gear, because even right now I'm struggling. We're at 0.64 miles and 440 feet climbed. I am gonna be sore. It's getting windy. I didn't bring my gloves because it's so warm, but I kind of wish I had them right now. Well, that's a bit of a bummer. I went down, couldn't get unclipped, and that's why my the plate pulled through the bottom of my shoe. So not sure how the rest of this ride's gonna go. I don't have the pedals that are platforms on the other side, so gotta be cautious, I guess. Maybe I can get this pushed back in, but it's gonna do the same thing again. I got it back in, had to take my shoe off, basically bend it in half and get the plate that the clip is in. Had to get it underneath the outer sole. I'm gonna ride a little cautiously for now. Once I get to the downhill, I might be okay to just not clip fully in. It's just tricky on the uphill. I can't do it without being too uncomfortable. This is fun. 1¼ miles, 800 feet climbed. See, like I can't pedal right now. I'm going 12. You can see how annoying that would be if you had a big long downhill. Or even something just, if you were rolling and wanted to maintain your momentum, you wouldn't be able to too much. You also wouldn't be able to ride up as much of what I just did with a higher gear. Okay. Leaving public lands. It's just for a second, according to the map. I think we just head down this little gully and come out over there. That looks like a steep hill. I'm still gonna swap the gear over now. All right, let's swap this baby over. So all I gotta do is, however you tension your chain, you just loosen it up. In this case, it's the dropout. Loosen that up. And then I found it's a lot easier. It's actually kind of the only way I've found, unless you've got a ton of slack, is whichever side you need to move to the smaller gear. Because on one side you're going from small to big, or big to small. I go from big to small. That loosens it up enough to move this side to the big one. Then just tension it back up and tighten it up, and there you go, good to go. So now I'm in 32-18 instead of 28-22. This should be a lot better for the descending. I'm gonna have a lot of descending after this. Besides that one little uphill, I can't even tell how steep it is from here. It looks pretty steep, but I don't know that it really is. I accidentally clipped in, didn't really work. Luckily I remembered to unclip before I got into this part. Oh. Whew. It's a little muddy. Holy cow, this is slick and snowy and chunky. Wouldn't be so bad if it was dry. I mean, it's really slick and really chunky, but the snow and mud makes this something I am not gonna ride right now. Whew. I can barely walk down it. This is cool. Wow, I can feel this gear. Ah, this is so pretty. It was so hard to tell. This is that section I was looking at from down there. It looked, or up there, it looked so steep, but obviously it's not. It's perfect. Pretty sure my left shoe's breaking too. Back on to public land. If you don't know what these gates are for, it's cattle. You gotta close them because people graze their cattle on public lands, and then you don't want them crossing onto private land or just getting lost. That's a bummer. Wow, I just got pelted with mud. Thank you, motorcycles, for cutting that track through. This terrain is ideal for a higher gear. Just rolling. Sure, it gets these little steep kickers, but you can carry a lot of momentum and make it through if it wasn't for the snow. Made it to the descent. And my right foot makes me real nervous. Not in a natural position. All right, let's maintain some momentum. Got a little climb. Okay, I think we're back on private property. We're almost down to the highway. This comes out right on the highway, if I remember right. I think there's a cattle guard. And then right on the highway, and then just a short ride back to the where I parked. Well, that was a really fun ride. I actually like the Dinglespeed setup more than I thought I would. It was a little steep on the way up and a little steep on the way down, so I didn't get to take advantage of the changing gears as much, but that rolly section and even some on the downhill. And actually right now, I'm glad that I'm in this gear. Right now at this cadence, I'm going about 14, and same cadence in the other gear, I think is closer to like 11 or something. So this is nice to just get back faster. That was actually one of the main use cases that I talked about the other day for Dinglespeed, is if you use your bike to commute or you don't like to drive to the trailhead, you want to ride, but it would take you forever to ride there in the gear that you want to ride in, like on the trails, then this is a good option. I hope you enjoyed watching this. If you haven't tried Singlespeed, I'd recommend it. It's a lot of fun. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.